Speaking of vaccines, though, Doc, reminding everyone here, we are talking to Dr. Jeffrey Barke out of beautiful Newport Beach, California. You can visit him on Instagram, RXFOR Liberty, everyone. Speaking of vaccines, moving from polio to other vaccines that maybe have been around for 50 plus years, right? So they've been around for a very long time. Does that make them safer? I mean, I was just visiting my doctor out here in Texas because I figured I needed a doctor out here to give me a checkup, although I would prefer just to do telehealth with you, Doc. But that being said, one of the questions that he had asked me is when my last tetanus shot was. Now,
Of course.
yeah. Other than that, he looked at my records and noticed, I really, haven't taken a vaccine in quite a while. No flu, no COVID, none of that. Um, but my wife actually told me, I don't know, a couple months ago, she's like not really interested in a tetanus shot. And so I passed on it based on you usually would get a tetanus shot if you were to get a cut or something on rust or whatever it might be. They're probably going to give you a tetanus shot anyways, I'm assuming. So why even have the need to do it now? I don't know. But
Well,
go
first of
ahead.
all, tetanus is extraordinarily rare in the United States. Don't
Okay.
believe me, look it up. How many cases of tetanus are there in the United States? It's a handful. It's a very rare illness. Also, if you step on a rusty nail that's in the soil and it's a tetanus prone wound, the way you treat that is tetanus needs an anaerobic environment, an environment where there isn't oxygen. That's why it can grow deep inside of you. It has to be a deep penetrating wound.
Hmm.
And the treatment simply is opening the wound and irrigating it. And 99 out of 100 times, you're not going to end up with tetanus.
Okay.
If you do get tetanus, the treatment is not the vaccine. The vaccine doesn't treat tetanus. What treats tetanus is tetanus toxoid or tetanus antivenom. That's what you'd give somebody if they have a tetanus prone wound and you're really worried about it. So to routinely vaccinate every adult against tetanus is ridiculous because we're not susceptible. I don't know about you, but I'm not walking barefoot in the soil where I may step on a rusty nail.
Right.
Too often, though, somebody comes into an urgent care center after cutting their hand with a bagel knife, and immediately they want to get a tetanus shot. Never mind that you're not going to get tetanus from a bagel knife and that that person isn't at risk. And by the way, we don't even have tetanus shots available as a standalone.
Hmm.
It's always part of DPT, diphtheria, pertussis,
Right.
and tetanus.
Right.
So we don't even make standalone for many of the vaccines. They're always in combination. Any new vaccine that's brought to the market is a $1 billion a year annuity to that vaccine company.
Wow.
And then the CDC will market that product for them. If you can get a vaccine on the childhood vaccine schedule, like COVID is now, like RSV, respiratory syncytial virus is now, these vaccine companies have no liability. They are immune to all liability. And it's an annuity, literally $1 billion a year for every new vaccine, marketed by your taxpayer dollars via the CDC. And then if you can't afford it, well, the government will pay for you to get a vaccine. So the whole vaccine industry and our healthcare industry in general is corrupt. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I want everybody to have informed consent, and I want the vaccine companies to face the music. They need to be responsible for the products that they put on the market. They're not right now, so they have no incentive to make sure these products are safe and effective. And almost every single childhood vaccine has no placebo randomized controlled clinical trials. It was never done. And yet we're giving them out at 2 months, 4 months, 8 months, a year, routinely, and we don't know. And then, of course, we have no idea if they cause cancer because we haven't studied it. We have no idea if they can affect a kid's fertility because we haven't studied it, but we give it out routinely and cavalierly. And the healthcare agencies and organizations all say safe and effective. I'm not buying it.